Okay. Hey there, it's Mommy on the Daily with
Kelly.
and Marina. We're here tonight with Fun Friday.
Fun Friday. Woo-woo.
What's in your cup?
I don't have a cup tonight because I'm hiding in the closet.
So share with everyone where you are so they know.
So tonight I'm at my girlfriend's house and it's her daughter's 11th birthday. So she asked me if I would come, and we're all doing a sleepover because she's a 7. Let's see, we have 7 of them, 7 that are 10 and 11 years old, and then we have 3 teenagers. So there's quite a few kids, and there's a lot of yelling and screaming. I mean, just giggling and everything, but it's so loud. Like right now, I wish if I even went close.
I can't hear you.
What?
I can't hear it. I can't hear it.
Yeah, well, that's
okay.
because, well, she says to me, first I was in her bedroom. I was like, oh, it's still too loud. Then I was in her bathroom, still too loud. She's like, our farthest place away is in her closet. So now I'm sitting in my girlfriend's closet. So that you can't hear them. But I mean, I can hear them, but you can't hear them. So
Right.
so that's why I'm in the closet tonight.
So tonight we're talking about relationships.
Yes. Because so many times we end up, like you all think about the weekend, and actually when there were some of the moms dropping off, a lot of the moms and one of the moms have to go for like a company dinner tonight. And she was saying she just doesn't, like, it's Friday night, she's done with the week. Like she would rather go out tomorrow night, or she has to do anything for work Monday through Thursday. But when it comes to Friday, she just wants to sit on the sofa. She's done. Like no
Right.
more. And a couple of the other moms all chimed in and kind of said the same thing, that like, they said, we just want to sit on the couch and like, and they said, hang out with your people. They don't want to have to do a work thing or entertain or, and stuff like that. They said maybe on Saturday night you want to go out and do something, but not on a Friday. You just want to hang out at home.
Right. And finding your people is the key, right?
Exactly.
Always having people. And
Yeah.
our people change. Sometimes our people are our people for years, and then we kind of like outgrow them or something. I don't know what it is, but you still love them, but it's time for you to get new people. Or when you move, you need new people.
Well, that explains why the divorce rate is so high. People move and change. And I think it happens in friendships too.
That's what I'm saying. We've been with friendships. Yeah, with friendships too.
And sometimes you grow apart, and sometimes you do come back together. And then, and sometimes you grow apart and you never go back together. And I think that's okay. And the beautiful thing is there are always new people to meet. And that will lead us into like one of the things I was talking to you about the Fun Friday.
I was just going to bring it up. I was like, remember what we talked about earlier? You were talking about the speed friending or speed dating or.
Well, they used to, they call it speed dating, but I said it should be speed friending. I said, because sometimes you want to change it up and meet some more people and all. And it's hard. Where do you meet them anymore? Like I meet kids at everything I do so much with my children. You and I met because of our kids.
Right.
Your niece and nephew. And then because your kids are older. I mean, you have 2 boys, but they're older. And then you and I connected there. We were the same age, but at a very different place in our lives. And we're still at different places in our life. Like you've been married for 31 years and I've been single for 31 years. No, I'm just kidding. No. I know, no, but 31 months, let's go with something like that. But
how longer than 31 months?
No, I'm kidding. Totally.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm like, no. So but it's just it's figuring it out along the way. And sometimes your interests change. Like sometimes you want to be more healthy and you might meet people at the gym, or sometimes you, I don't know, want to go rock climbing, or you want to go and there's, or you get into sewing or knitting, or, and it's another group of people to meet.
Right. And that's kind of why we started this.
Yeah.
To find new people. Or for
Yeah,
those people that are looking for people and they feel like they're alone, maybe they're single and they move to a new town, or maybe they're just recently divorced, or maybe like me, my husband worked the night shift, and you're looking for people other than your children to
or your dog.
we love our kids, but you want people, you want
Yeah.
friends, you want girlfriends. I have a couple of friends that we always say we're like the friends of the Traveling Pants. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
And we're apart, but then all of a sudden we come together and it's like you never missed a beat. But we're all in different places in our lives, right? At this time too. So what is that movie anyway? Sisters of the Traveling Pants?
Sisters of the Traveling Pants. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you find your tribe or you find your people. I like that we find our people, because on here we can find our people. We had some great ladies with us last week, last Wednesday, that we connected with, and it's bring your friends, hang out. Tonight I have Jim Beam and coffee in my cup here.
Oh, I'm jealous.
And over here I have water. So yeah, usually you have a beer and I have a tea or something.
Exactly. Last Friday, I had beer and you had the tea, and I'm like, and this time I'm like, because I don't have my mugs. Like I said, I'm at my girlfriend's house, and
right. This is a different one. This one's because the other one's in the dishwasher. This one's my God's girl one, but I also have a water one, but I can't find the top.
You've only had it like a week. I can't find the top. Whoops.
Well, it's probably in the lids bucket, basket
Yeah.
in the closet, and I just haven't found it. So
no, you'll find it. It's funny. Yeah, but like I was saying to you, the reason I never speed dating came out, and at the time I was probably either married or dating someone, because I didn't get to do, like, when it was real trending at a lot of bars and stuff like that. And speeding, we were gonna go, and then like something happened, we didn't go, and then something happened, we didn't go. So we never got to do it. But I was saying to you, like, I think it would be fun to do speed friending, like go and meet people, like, what I'm saying, that in your neighborhood, or or at the local, I don't want to say bar, but we have a lot of outside restaurants here because where I live. But it would be fun to do. We have this place called they hammock something hammock. Can't think of the name, but it was newer. But I liked it because of the atmosphere and all. But I said it would be so much fun to go around and meet, eat more moms or single people. Like, you don't have to be a mom, but like other things like that.
Yeah, even singles that don't even have children, because you can find something in common with the others, right? I haven't dated in probably like 37 years, 36 years. So
no, normal.
Make fun of me. But yeah, we've been together for a very long time. But having different people in your lives, whether they're single or married without kids, or just recently divorced, we all have something to bring to the table. I'm like, look at us. Slipping slides down the hill.
Oh my God, that's the funniest. Remember that?
Snow. Sleigh riding in the snow.
No. Sledding in the snow, and then what do we do with? We had the color paints, but remember we were throwing the colored things that
were they paintballs, or what were they?
They
were like
paintballs, but we were throwing those at each other.
They hurt.
Oh, they did hit. But yeah, like you said, the slip and slide down in the summertime, and then we did the snowball fights and the sledding, and
even didn't we had fake snowballs too.
Yeah. Yep, we did that too.
We've done some crazy things together, and it's just it just happened.
Yeah, but our friendship, like we would have never met if if you didn't bring your niece and nephew to dance, and I was at dance, and then there's a whole group, and we are not the typical dance moms. We weren't
Sorry, dance moms out there. We still love you.
We do, but we were not
but
the
I didn't
typical.
fit in.
Yeah, we didn't. We weren't. We just could like that wasn't us. But we were friendly with everybody. We talked, and you're welcome to hang out with us here. And but we were so funny. We were like,
And you're a
oh,
Jersey girl,
yeah,
and I'm a New York girl,
yeah,
and we always tease the Jersey girls, but we still got
yeah.
along.
Oh,
We
I
still
get
got.
it. Exactly. And I'm single, and you're married, and you have boys, and I have girls, and um, that's all. Like, but like I said, it doesn't. But we like to
Better.
bounce things off each other and talk to each other. And what's your experience? What was my experience? Like, they would have been totally different for your kids growing up now with all the cell phones and everything that and that my kids are navigating that right now. It's a lot.
I think Mateo was in middle school. He got the cell phone first
Okay.
because he was on football, and he had to travel with the older kids. So I wanted to make sure he had the phone in case he needed to call. And then Nick had some trouble following directions and rules, so Nick didn't get his cell phone until later on.
You know how they are in my phone, right?
Yeah.
In my phone for Nick and Tay. Like Tay is the good son, and Nick, well, I just look and see what I put in here because I don't think I put bad son. I put something in, but we were crying. He's like, that's not fair. And I'm like, it's funny. That's who you are. So
Are you on
funny.
your laptop or are you on your cell phone?
No, I'm on my laptop. My phone's here.
Can you are you able to
I'm gonna
just
go
check
the
YouTube?
Wi-Fi. Okay. Yeah, but
see
that
if we
means
have
I'm
any
gonna be
comments?
that means I'm going to be looking down a lot. It doesn't mean I'm sleeping.
That's
Well, it always looks like all of them I'm sleeping. Like even if I go like this, and sometimes I'm just so tired during the week. It's so tired. So today I got a little sleep. Some nights I only get like 3 hours of sleep, and then I'm fine until I sit down. And when I sit down, I'm like,
Is it 3 hours of sleep because your mind's just racing, or is it 3 hours of sleep because
it depends.
depends? Here comes the yawns.
Yes, the yawns are coming. But anyway, yeah, let me see if I can get the YouTube thing up. I need my Maddie.
So I wanted to go get my nails done, but then you know how I am with that.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend, Mindy, says to me, oh, just go get Kiss press-on nails and a really good glue and they'll stay. So I've never worn press-on nails before. So look, first time for everything.
But they look good. Let me see.
Well, where's my camera?
Oh, there. That looks good. Do you like them?
I do. They feel good. Let's see how long they last because I always have my hands in water.
Water. Well, you always cook it and clean it and stuff. Well, I know.
So have you ever had that cowboy caviar?
No.
What it is it's a mixture. It's like a salsa, but it's corn, fresh frozen corn, thawed, of course, peppers, cucumber,
black bean.
Black bean.
Yes, I have had it.
So I made the Italian version tonight, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm addicted because like I could just eat the whole. I made a bowl probably like this big that you could probably put Lundy in the bowl. It was so big.
Poor Lundy.
And I made this bowl of it. It had artichokes, olives, white beans, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, basil. And then I used ricotta salata, which is like a firm ricotta, but it's creamier.
But it sounds good.
I put that in there. And when I comes home, I'm like, I'm really not hungry for but it's so good and it's so good for you, right? And I did this white balsamic dressing on it. If you were here, we would have polished off the entire bowl.
It sounds delicious.
But even with your girls would have been like eating it like mad.
Well, they love a black, they call it the black bean corn salsa. Like they love that. But now with yours, like with the cheese, and oh my God, I couldn't even imagine.
And the artichokes, it was just so good.
Love artichokes.
I think I put it on my Facebook stories.
I gotta go look at the recipe then because the girls will love it.
It was really yummy.
For lunch today, we had a spinach avocado. We had a spinach artichoke dip for lunch today.
Oh, nice. I love that.
I'm trying to do our YouTube thing, but I have to go through the email. Here it is. No, oh, don't worry. I'm getting there.
So what else is happening on the friend front? You know, on the most part, other than work, the work environment, how else do you find friends? Like, how else do you build your network? Because we all need friends for certain things in our life, right? I may go to you for one thing and then go to another friend for another thing, because everybody brings something different to the table.
Yep.
How would you say you navigate all that?
Me personally?
Yeah. No, your mouse that's in the closet sitting next to you.
Well, I didn't know if you were asking our audience.
No,
were
you.
asking me.
Oh, somebody's here. Mo just joined the room. Hi, Mo. Welcome. Let us know where you're
Mo.
from.
So Mo's joining us.
Your friend?
No.
Oh.
I don't know.
It's just a cat. I don't know if it's Mo or if it's a capital M, capital O. So how do you navigate that? Like, do you have certain friends that like you go to for certain things, and then you have other friends that like I go for car rides with you? I'll drive the hour, the 45 minutes to the soccer game or basketball, whatever it is, even though I'm here in New York and you're in North Carolina, we just travel together and we talk about everything, just about
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But
So,
you know, we have those
say that. Yeah, like they don't like, so my kids play travel soccer. So sometimes I have an hour or a 3-hour drive. And I'm like, all right, I'll call you on my drive. And then for there, you know, we'll talk for what, 2 hours, 3 hours, like depending on, yeah, because like your husband was working nights or whatever. I was driving back or whatever. And so you're like, yeah, I can hang out. And that's what we did. So my friends, like I talk to some people more than other people, obviously. And
hi, Nairam. I hope I said your name right on Podbean. And let us know where you're calling in from, where you're checking in from, where you are in the country or the world, and let us know. We're talking about relationships today, friendships, you know, finding your people, those people that are your ride and dies, the ones that are with you through all of the thick and the thin. So share with us if you have any questions. Did you get on YouTube yet?
I'm working on it. I need Maddie.
Kelly's in the closet because she's at a birthday party and it's the quietest place in the house. So if it looks kind of strange that she's in there, she's in the closet.
I'm literally in the closet. And your husband's making fun of me.
You know, he's an interesting character. You know him. He could care less if we were on the phone for 2 hours or 3 hours, even when he was home. He sometimes he'll chime in, sometimes he won't, or that's his out for going to the garage, or that's his out for going upstairs and watching a movie.
Man cave or his.
Yep. Getting away from me.
Which is so important.
Right. It is very important to be able to still have, like tomorrow, he's going to go meet his friends in the morning. They'll go get coffee and they'll catch up. And I'm like, go have fun.
We're never the ones that.
But you have to have that, I think, in every relationship. You know, I've been in friendships with girlfriends like I've had, and they've gotten really funny when I'm going out with another friend.
I know. What is that? The jealousy thing?
I don't know. And then you can have intimate relationships like with your husband or whomever, a significant other, and
I'm putting my girlfriend's sweater on. I'm cold.
Okay. And, you know, and sometimes they get jealous of your girlfriends or how much time you spend on the phone. And, you know, but to have the balance and to be able to have it, I mean, I'm fairly lucky because my husband is so laid back, you know that.
Yes.
But a lot of people don't have that in their life. And I don't understand that, why other women get jealous of other friendships, their friends, other friends. You know what I mean? I never understood that. Probably that's why I didn't have a lot of girlfriends in school. I hung out with more guys than I did girls because I couldn't handle that cattiness and that, I don't know, that jealousy thing. How about you?
Yeah, like you said, like okay, I found the YouTube and I don't think anything. Yes, I can see myself in the closet. I'm just trying to see if anybody's with us. Okay. With the jealousy, like it's hard sometimes, like, and I don't understand it with the jealousy, like, and sometimes you want to invite and not invite, and sometimes if you're going out with, like, I remember years ago, like my friend and I were going out and like, oh, I invited so and so to come with us. I'm like, oh, and they're like, well, I felt bad. I'm like, so you're inviting people again? I'm like, but then the whole dynamics of our friendship is going to change, because when I go out with my one friend, like actually it was my friend Eugene, and he was like, oh, I invited Renee to go with us, and Renee, and they end up getting married, but she's fine. But I was like, hey, but if she comes, like, we're not going to talk honest, because I'm not really friends with her and I didn't like her very much, and I'm not going to talk to you honestly about stuff. And he's like, I know, I just feel bad. I'm like, okay, so sometimes you say more the merrier. It's not that you don't want more people there, but sometimes you want to talk serious or be serious or talk about certain things about you. So you have different friends for different needs,
Right.
And like it was the cutest thing the other day. I was with my oldest, Maddie, and she went to get her braces off, and so I got her braces off, and then we went to Whole Foods, and you love food, and we love talking to you about food, like you just said tonight, like, oh my God, if you girls were here, forget it, we would have totally polished it off and all.
Right.
So we walked into Whole Foods. She's like, can I call Aunt Marina? And I don't have any sisters, so obviously you're not her aunt, but
Right.
you know what I mean? But that's what we've been introduced from the beginning when we met, because we hit it off and all. But she's like, can I call Aunt Marina? I'm like, you can always call Aunt Marina. And she had to call you. She's like, Aunt Marina, right?
Right.
Like how cute was that? That's who she wanted to call.
Right.
Like, to me, that makes me happy or proud that that our friendship are there, and it even moves into our kids. Like when you're not your oldest, but when Tay gets home, your youngest gets home, and he's like, oh, Miss Kelly, I'm like, where's my soup, Matt? I'm like, hey, where's my soup? I'm like, still waiting for my soup. He's like, it's gonna be really cold when I get your soup. But
it's so funny because even though Mateo's going to be 29, and Nick just turned 30, and they still call you Miss Kelly.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it because they're like, oh, Miss Kelly's on the phone. Oh, hi, Miss Kelly. And I'm like, they're not little, and you know what I mean? It's just, I love it because I don't know. And then they're like, well, Mom, what else are we supposed to call her? It's Miss Kelly. And I'm like, okay.
Because I am their senior, but it is funny because I'm your age, so I'm their mom's age, but you're a young mom and I'm an old mom. So, but
Right.
it's like, but they call me Miss Kelly. Like, that's how I was introduced. I remember Mr. and Mrs. Trano, my parents, and again, like, I met them when we were, I think they knew me my whole life, but whenever I saw them, even as like in my 20s and 30s, I'd be like, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Trano. She's like, you can call me Lillian and Phil. And I'm like, yeah, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Trano, thanks for letting me know. But like, no, you're still Mr. and Mrs. Trano. I'm not going to call you Lillian and Phil. Like, it's weird.
I have a couple of friends, old neighborhood friends, that I still call Mr. and Mrs. And they're like, Marina, you could call me older, right? But it's just what we're used to, and it's the way we were brought up.
Yeah, but it's a respect
Having
thing.
friendships that will last that long is amazing too. And also having friends that our children feel comfortable with, if they need be to go to somebody, they feel comfortable enough to reach out to that person.
Yeah, exactly.
And I find, and I could be wrong, you can correct me because I've been married for a million years. I find though today with my kids, let's just say with my boys, they
Mhm.
still have some friends that they grew up with, but of course life changes. They go to college and their lives are different. They're separated, but they can still come back to them. But I also find that the new friends they have now are kind of like for that moment.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes Nick will be like, "Hey mom, what are you doing? You want to go get coffee or something?" I don't have any friends. And I'm like, "What do you mean you don't have any friends?" And he was like, "Mom, it's not the same as when we were younger, when we had friends, you know, it almost is like friendships, not loyalty. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of people don't allow themselves to be vulnerable and allow themselves to be open and allow themselves to completely connect. Where it's like, okay, I'll hang out with you today. It's Friday, and then I'll pick up with Jimmy on Saturday, and then maybe I won't talk to you, you know? So almost like, I don't want to say it's a throwaway friendship or it's not an important relationship, but it doesn't seem like they make their friends today or anything like what, you know, our friendships as we get older. Mateo has a close bunch of friends, but they're coworkers. So I think it's on a different level. So
Yeah.
he hangs out with, like at IBM, they have a real young group of new workers. They're a young group and they've really become a tight group. They go to the
Yeah.
movies together, they go to dinner together, they hang out together. Where on Nick it's a totally different thing. But then Nick can be a lot to
Poor Nick. He's not even here to defend himself.
I just said to Carmine, I'm like, hey, I didn't hear from Nick in a couple of days. Maybe I better reach out. And I'll just shoot him a text or I'll call him and I'll say, just, are you breathing? Are you alive? And he's like, Mom, you're nuts. But I don't know. It just seems like friendships are a little different these days than they were. Or than they
Well-
can. Am I missing that?
No, like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get us into the thing. No, I agree with you that I don't know, it's because we all like
Live differently, experience differently. A lot of it has to do with these stupid things.
You're right. People aren't connecting. They're not.
No. And then they hide behind them and they're like, oh, I can say this, I can say that, I can be a jerk, I can be ugly, because they're hiding behind their
phone.
behind their yeah, they're hiding behind their
Yeah, I agree.
they're
I
hiding
agree
behind-
with you that
so,
the cell phones and all the technology doesn't allow us to have that connection that we normally have. Like at my house, you know, if we're having dinner, the cell phones go in the basket, or or if we're hanging out, no cell phones. It's always been a rule, no cell phones at the table, right? So that way we can connect and we can communicate and we can and I think we missed that with the technology.
I think we tremendously do. And then like it was funny, I was out of school and they're having a little dance and all, and some of the kids were sitting there and I said, I go, that's their life. Go live your life. Go get on that dance floor. Go to, well, they're like, Miss B, and I'm like, no. I go, let's go. Let's get on that dance floor, do something. You know what I mean? Like, don't just, and they're sitting there staring at that phone. I'm like, why are you looking at that? Go do it. Go live your own life. Don't live watching somebody else's life.
Right. And I think we get hung up in that. So let's see how we could do a speed friending. Like you were talking about a speed dating, but for
Yes.
friends, to find your people in your community. And we have a couple of people here that have joined the room. If you're here, message in. Let us know what your thoughts are on building relationships, friendships, some of the positive things and some of the not negative things that you've gone through that you want to talk about. We'd love to hear it. So put it in the comments. We're here for you.
Yeah, like, I mean, going through a divorce, going through a breakup, going through losing your job. I mean, there's so many things, going through something happened with your kids. Like, there's so many things that you try to protect and not have those things happen, but it happens.
Right.
And how do you deal with them?
Well, you know, my goddaughter, but her mom and I were like inseparable, like always together. And once the pandemic happened,
Yeah.
it's like if I don't message her, if I don't reach out to her, if I don't talk to her, it's almost like she's completely shut off from the outside world. And I do think that happened because so many of us were commuters, or so many of us worked in offices and all, and then we were working from home, and we were within our confines of our houses, right? And we couldn't go anywhere, and we just got really comfortable with that. I know I went from a commuter to in this room.
Yeah.
For 10 to 12 hours a day on this computer. And by the time I got done with work, I was shutting down, and I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't going to the market. I wasn't seeing people because my brain was fried from being on the computer all day. And I think that kind of also, and if y'all are in the room and you want to throw your comment in there, you know, did you see a change in relationships through the pandemic? You had just moved, so
Yeah,
you
I
hadn't really even built relationships down there, right? At that time?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get us on Google. Yeah, so when like you said, I just moved, and I got kicked out of Google. That's why I keep changing what I'm trying
Oh,
to
okay.
do. So when so we were here just a few months, and then we were in the pandemic, and you know, everything went on hold. You didn't meet people, you didn't talk to people. It just was so but like you and I stayed, you know, there's other things that you did with your friends that you got connected with.
Right. I mean, yeah, well, we communicated on the telephone, but I mean, even in your area, you know, and I found that there are some relationships that didn't continue through that time.
Yeah.
Even though that was a 30, 32, 33-year-old relationship, right? I miss her. I reach out, you know, I miss that time hanging out on the porch. We've had some great times on the porch.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the boys and I were just talking about how many times you would be like, we can't stay. 3 hours later, girls, come on, we have to go.
I'm like, they have school tomorrow. I hate, and I'd be like, I hate this house. I get trapped in all the time. I don't know what happens. I go, we totally lose track of time. I'm like, we can't stay. We're not staying. You're like, okay, I'm setting plates for you. And I'm like, okay, we're having dinner. Right after dinner, we're leaving. You're like, okay.
Oh, you were at dinner with us again tonight, just so you know. I used your serving bowl.
Yeah,
I'm like,
so
oh, Miss Kelly's here. She's here for dinner. Here's her serving bowl.
when I was moving, I gave Marina a bunch of my bowls because we didn't want to take them with us. And she's like, perfect for serving bowls. So every time she says I'm there.
So now every time I use them, you came to dinner with us. Though we wish you were at dinner.
Yes. Hopefully soon again.
Are you planning on coming up or me going down? Well, I'm heading down there.
I know you're going to be in Hilton Head. And Maddie was just saying that, well, we want to go to Outer Banks. You're going to Hilton Head or Outer Banks?
Hilton Head.
Hilton Head.
My nephew's at Hilton Head Prep.
Yeah.
So we're going
We'll
to
have to see.
there for 5 days. So it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a vacation. We haven't been on vacation since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
That was our last time. Lizzie White's here. Hello, Lizzie. Welcome. Lizzie was here Wednesday night. Yeah, she had just come on when we were getting ready to shut down. Lizzie, we're talking about friendships, relationships, how
I gotta check my YouTube. I'm very bad at this.
things, you know, things that, you know, how we make them. Kelly's in a new town. She's single. You know, how do you navigate friendships and relationships? So if you have anything to add to the conversation, please do in the comments. Love to hear it. So yeah, it's are you on the YouTube?
Yeah.
Do we have
just
any
came up.
comments in there?
But I don't know. I don't think so. I need Maddie.
Kelly struggles with technology.
I'm very honest
Oh, I
about it.
love you, Kel. I love
I
you.
do try.
You
but-
do, you do.
And then
Um,
I have to call in the Calvary. I'm like, boo. And then my oldest, like, she helps me and she goes, really, Mom? I'm like, I was close. I was like so not close. Like I was
It's
close.
amazing how advanced they are in it. And it's like, I even see little ones, literally little ones, showing their parents how to use these cell phones and do things on them. So it's just crazy. So what else would you like to add to relationships? Don't worry about it. We'll catch them. I'll reply to them afterwards if you can't get on.
Well, I just sent a text to Maddie that says, come to the closet. Come to the closet.
So Kelly whoever's new, Kelly's in the closet because she's at a birthday party at a friend's house and she didn't want to miss our 9 o'clock show. So she's hiding in the closet because that's the most quiet place in the house with all the kids. So if you're wondering why she's in the closet, that's why.
Yes, there's 7 preteens. They're literally screaming, yelling, being funny and cute. But I was like, and I moved to my girlfriend's bedroom, but we could still hear everything. Then I moved to the bathroom, and then we could kind of hear. And then the closet was the farthest away. That was the most quiet. So,
yeah. So it is fun, right? It is fun having, like, look, you're at your girlfriend's house helping her. Well, not right now. You're not helping her. You're in the closet, but typically you're really there to help her with a birthday party, a preteen birthday party.
Okay, so where I am, yeah, because another friend, like you said, how other friends are, and actually, she was like, we didn't even know the party was going to happen because she was sick on Wednesday. Her daughter was sick on Wednesday, and she's like, can you come and help me? I'm just, I'm worried and I have all this stuff to do. And if I'm going to be, and I said, of course. So that's like another friend. And she and I met through soccer. So our oldest 2 play soccer together. And now they're not on the same team anymore, but she and I stayed good friends. And like our daughter's still.
Right.
Which is nice.
And that's what it's all about, having our people in our lives to be able to help us when we need it. Right.
Well, yeah. And I think it's when to like help people when they need it and stuff like that. But it's literally just holding that door open or doing little things that, talk to them, get to know people. And people, I don't think, extend themselves. Like, I know it sounds funny, like when you're walking through Home Depot, or whatever, say hi, say hello, or say like, oh, and they're there to help you. It's like I don't think it's very rewarding with some of the way people, they're going to come yelling and screaming at you because they can't find the right drill bit or the whatever. And it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's just being kind.
Yeah.
Right. It's just being kind. I mean, how many times have you called me and you're like, all right, you're the praying type. Can you just pray for me? Because, I got this big meeting today. Right. Yeah. So here we are able to step in and fill in the gap and be able to hold the other one up. And the beauty of what we're creating here is we're building relationships. And I find too, like you're saying, going to Home Depot and just being kind in the market. I talk to everybody in the market.
Yeah.
My kids are like, Mom, by the time we leave, we know everybody's life story. And it's not me asking, it's just me being kind. Hi, how are you? And then they just unload on me and we have a conversation. But it's just building relationships. And that doesn't mean that you're going to be having coffee with them. You're not going to, but you never know what might come from just being kind.
Yeah. And you saying hello to somebody that day made the difference of them like, you know, not going home and doing something bad or something like that. Like that little thing can make a huge difference.
Yeah, like I always bring it up, your kindness when I was in a really weird place, right? I had my niece and nephew who were your children's age, and I'm going to dance class. Dance, I don't fit in there. And you were kind and you were like, you have to go this way, you have to put your shoes here, you have to do this. And you guided us. And that's how our relationship took off.
Started, yeah.
Was just from you extending a hand to somebody who was completely a fish out of water.
Yeah. And you had
Completely.
boys, yeah, and you had boys, so you were never at the dance studio before this. I mean, not that boys couldn't dance, but they didn't, but, you know, Benny.
No, my boys did. They went to JG. Nick took
Oh.
an acting class and they both took tap. So they did, but it was different because JG was so small and you didn't just hang out there like we did with at Dance Works too. You would just drive around the circle, drop your kids off and drive out and then come back because it was so small. So I never really, honestly, I never even met any of the parents that my kids were in there with. Because nobody hung out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they don't really have like, it's so small that they don't have a seating area. Like,
They have nothing. They literally,
Which I
have a
don't think
door.
is good. I mean,
and then
I
with
like the-
us, I mean, we were kind of in an elementary school.
Yeah.
And we just hung out there while the kids did their things. And I really was a fish out of water. It was Nana first. Nana,
Yes, Nana.
Nana came to my rescue first. Because I, you know, as we keep saying, and it's a joke, we're not really saying being mean to dance moms. But when you're used to being like, some of these little girls started off at 2 at that dance school. And they just grew up together. And it's kind of weird when an outsider comes in at 10 or 11 years old, right? And then you have this mom that comes in who has no clue what the heck she's doing at dance school.
No.
So Nana was first, and then I met you because Nana introduced us, and it's been a friendship since, right?
Exactly.
And it's finding your people. And I don't know. It just seems like it's a little harder to find our people these day and age.
I know, even though we have these phones and all this stuff and all this technology, and all, there's just, like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said a little earlier about the vulnerability, about being vulnerable and things like that. And it's okay to
Allow people in.
Yeah. And you might get hurt. I mean, it happens, but you're strong enough and there's other people to help you get through that.
Right. And not everybody's for everyone. Like,
No.
not everybody's for, and even like sometimes we're just, certain people are just good for that season. Whatever it is, you know what I mean? It may be that they were perfect when you were single and they were single, and then one of you might have gotten married or whatever, or you know, it just, maybe they were just there for that season. But then you have those ride or dies. And like I said, I'm noticing with my boys, my sons, that they don't have the ride or dies like we used to when we were kids, when we were younger.
Yeah, well, but everybody feels that if you have this is your new friend. It's not real. This isn't a friend. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't have, you know what I mean? It doesn't have all those things.
And I have a friend that she only communicates now through text message.
Oh.
So it's like, can't we just pick up the phone and talk?
Yeah.
It's everything through text. I mean, I know you and I'll text from here, but I think too, we're all so busy. You know how many people that I talk to? Well, you're running here or there and we still find time to talk. Like you're driving an hour to a field or you're sitting at the field and we have time to talk. If you want to make time, you do. But I think sometimes we allow busy to be our excuse why we don't connect with people. And it's a text or that or something. I mean, we're in 2 different states now, so it's not even like we're in the same area. But I would go to a game if we were here and you said, oh, the girls have a game and they're going to be at the fields. I've gone to the fields before, you know what I mean? And so to watch the girls.
Yeah.
But I think now everybody's so busy and we just don't make people our priority.
Well, yeah, I have a friend and that was like the difference of them saying like now, like they're trying to figure out the priority. That's what they're doing, is figuring out their friends that's been there the whole time and a long time. And
And also, even not even in friendships, but I'm even noticing in marriages because, in my line of work, I work with a lot of couples and they get so busy with the kids, they forget to make time for each other. And that's when we start seeing relationships falling apart. And now I say to my clients, I'm like, hey, let's open up your calendars right now and pencil each other in, and it's a non-negotiable.
oh
You
wow.
can't change it. You cannot put it off. You can't say, well, tonight I'm a little too tired. It's non-negotiable. Because we run and run and run for our kids. We, like some of my clients, they'll go to play golf with the we'll go and
Play golf.
play golf with for work, they don't cancel on those things, but we find we cancel on each other.
Yeah.
So we
Because it's
have to
easy.
make each other a priority, be it a friendship, a marriage, a relationship, a significant other. It's got to be non-negotiable. We have to make the time for people. And I think we're just not doing it today.
I agree. I think we choose to hide behind the phone because it's easier. Everybody texts. It's easier to text than it is actually to pick up the phone and have a conversation with somebody. Are you kidding me? Pick up the phone.
I've
Talk
been
to
to
them.
restaurants and I just watch people because I love to people watch.
Yeah.
And the rule, no phones at the table. So
Table.
we'll be out to restaurants and I'll people watch, and how many couples are on their phone, or even friends, they're all on their phones and nobody's communicating.
Communicating at all.
That makes me crazy. It
No.
makes me crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So,
Um,
well, it's Friday night. We have some friends in the room. I hope you
Awesome.
all, I would love to hear comments if you want to reply to the comments in this afterwards, but we thank you. Kelly's got to get out of the closet and go help her friend,
That's
take
the rest
care
of
of
the party.
the rest of the party and entertainment of the girls. So we're going to say goodnight. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions or if you have any comments, leave them in the comment box. We always check. Love to hear from you. Kelly, you have anything to add?
No, just you guys are rock stars, like we always say, and keep powering through. And if you'd like us to talk about certain topics, send us an email and we can talk about that topic too. And hopefully you guys can join us in the conversations.
Yeah, we also have lines that you can call in. So eventually we can start pulling you in and we can have the conversations as well. And people on YouTube, like, subscribe, click the bell. Isn't that what we're supposed to say?
Yes, I thought when you say click the bell.
Like, subscribe,
I
click the bell, and share us with your friends or invite your friends here. Yeah. This is why we created this page, so we can all become friends and we can help each other out. We can hold each other up. We can be there for one another. So we hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy, be safe, and we'll see you Monday.
Awesome.
Good
Have a great
night.
weekend. Good night.